Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining me. My name's Jack Sayer, and I'm a member of the Veterinary Pathology Group's partnership team. In this video, I'll be introducing you to our online sample submission portal, Pathport, showing you how it works and how you can get the most out of it. To access your account, you'll need to first contact your local lab and request your practice's Pathport username. Once you've received it, simply head to Pathport's website and click on the Activate Account button shown here. Then, simply enter your username into the box provided to have an account activation email sent directly to your practice inbox. Once that's arrived with you, you'll be able to create your password and log into your account. In order to log into Pathport, simply head to Pathport's login page and enter either your username or practice email address, along with the password you set up when you activated your account. Then it's just a case of hitting sign in. Upon entering Pathport for the first time, you'll be greeted with a variety of areas there to help you interact with your lab more efficiently. The first of these is the dashboard. Let's start there. The dashboard gives you a quick roundup of your most recent submissions, animals, and your most popular tests, allowing you to quickly select either a patient or a test that you're looking for on the very first page of Pathport without wasting time. Next is the submissions page. The submissions page provides you with a complete archive of every submission that your practice has ever submitted to VPG. You can choose to search for individual submissions by searching for the lab ID, the lab number, or the animal's names. Or you can choose to use the sample tracker to locate where your sample is at within our lab. The animals page is a complete list of every animal that you've ever created a submission for. You can easily search for individual submissions by searching in the bar up here, and selecting an individual animal will show you a concise list of all of their related submissions in one area. You can also choose to edit animals here and change details if things have changed over time, or add patient notes if you'd like to. To create a new animal and add them to the list of selectable animals on your Pathport account, simply head to the Add New Animal button on the Animals page. Here you'll add their name, surname, select a species or breed, select their gender as well as their age if it's known, as well as any other information that you can provide. This notes section over here is simply for any patient notes that you choose to add here. It's important to remember that this isn't your clinical history section, and we'll come to that in a moment when we book a submission. The tests page contains within it a comprehensive catalogue of our complete range of tests and services. You can choose to search by department by scrolling down here on the left, or by searching for the test code or name in the box above. For example, if I wanted to try and locate ionized free calcium, I simply need to type ionized, and you'll see that it's returned there for me at the top. Entering the test, you can view sample information such as the test cost, the samples that we require, a brief description of the test itself, as well as any sampling tips or protocols that we deem relevant. You'll also notice a variety of frequently ordered together tests at the bottom of most test screens. These are tests that we've noticed vets often ordering together. So to save you time, we've placed them at the bottom of these screens to allow you quick access when booking submissions. The results page is the tail end of your submission tracker. This area shows you all of your results for submissions, but doesn't show any of your pending or received submissions, those submissions that don't have any data in at the moment. You can head here to see partially complete results and fully complete results. Selecting a completed result on the results page will allow you to view that patient's results in more detail. With our profiles and screens, for example, we include a detailed breakdown of the entire profile or screen with individual parameters laid out with their reference ranges and their results color-coded. This allows you to get a really detailed visual representation of the results that we have provided you with. Another really useful feature about Pathport is that we will compare and contrast previous results for the same patient. If you've submitted more than one profile or screen for a particular patient, you'll notice this Show Past Results button that appears in their results section. This highlights any previous test results that were performed and even generates a useful graph for each individual parameter that shows the trends of the changes in that parameter over time. The settings page allows you to adjust a variety of fields within your Pathport account. These include contact details and address details, seen here on the left, as well as email addresses you'd like to receive results to. On the right, you can see here that you can adjust your main contact person, your settings for email notifications, as well as a useful pricing feature that allows you to add markup to the list prices on Pathport so that you can see both your cost and your list price. Further down the page, you can adjust a few other settings such as your login email address and even add practice vets or edit existing ones for later selection when booking your submissions. Pathport also includes a handy pricing tool that allows you to amend and adjust the markup that appears on tests within Pathport. To adjust this, simply head to the settings page and then click on the edit button next to the pricing settings feature. Here you can select to show either cost price or sales price. Sales price will leave things as they are and when you first log into your Pathport account, where you will see only one price for all tests that are listed. However, selecting the sales option in the pricing feature and choosing to add a markup by either a percentage or a whole figure will then show all available tests on Pathport with both a price to practice as well as a price to owner, which allows you to quickly and easily manage submission costs. We're now going to look at how you can use Pathport to book your submissions. Now, you may have already noticed the new submission button that appears at the top of every page on Pathport, and this is so that you can quickly and easily access the new submission process from wherever you are within Pathport. Simply head to the new submission button and select either animal or test. Depending on what you select, will simply determine where you start within the submission process. As I've selected animal, I need to select what patient I'd like to submit for first. It's always good to search for the animal that you're looking to submit for first, just to make sure that they aren't on Pathport. Now, I'd like to submit for Jack, and he is here. Now, if the animal I was looking for wasn't here, then you would need to create a new animal and select this button here. But as I'm selecting Jack, I can hit him and he'll appear in my submission summary over on the right. Now that I've selected my animal, I need to select my tests. This is really similar to the testing page we looked at previously. Simply select a test by scrolling through the departments on the left, or look at previous orders specific to your Pathport account by selecting previous orders and choosing from this range. You can also search for tests by searching the test code or the name in the search bar above. To begin with, we're going to select a profile for Jack by heading down to the Profiles and Screens section, scrolling through the available tests, finding the test we want, which is the feline profile, and then hitting order. Here you can see that this includes a full CBC and hematology, as well as an extensive biochemistry. I'm also going to select a cytology because we want to perform some FNAs on Jack. Once I've selected the tests I want, you can see that Pathport has already added them to the summary section over on the right and has begun totting up the costs for those tests. Next, we'll need to begin selecting the samples we're going to send. For my feline profile, I'm going to need an EDTA whole blood for the hematology and a serum gel. And I think that's it. Oh wait, no, I've actually missed a sample. And Pathport will stop you from moving ahead if you forget to select samples, which is quite a handy feature. I'll need to select air-dried smears for my cytology. However, you may have also noticed this digital images button. When submitting cytology or histology, you can select digital images as a sample type and upload any complementary images that you might think the pathologist could use in performing your report. Another feature that Pathport includes is a dynamic pricing feature. This applies to some tests such as cytology or histopathology, where the amount of samples will alter the price. This applies to our basic cytology codes and our basic histology codes. Now, our cytology includes one site and up to 6 slides. So you'll notice as I begin to adjust the number of slides, going past 6, the cost to the summary actually changes. As I adjust the number of sites, you'll also see that number change. This is so that you don't have to go fishing around for the appropriate cytology codes. Pathport does that work for you. Once I've completed my sampling information, I simply need to hit next, and we'll be met with the final confirmation page of your submission journey. Here, you'll need to select the appropriate vet that is attending this case. Your destination lab will be pre-selected and you won't need to adjust this. Your clinical history for the case can be entered here. Next, you can select whether the submission is urgent or not. Hitting this checkbox will apply the appropriate urgent codes to all tests on your submission. And next, we just have some final biohazard information questions that we ask to ensure that our staff members are kept safe in light of handling zoonotic diseases and other mycobacterial infectious diseases. Scrolling down to the bottom of the page, we simply have a summary of the tests we've selected, as well as the samples we intend to send. And lastly, we have our costs, exclusive of VAT, to both the practice and the owner. Once I hit confirm, Pathport will just give me a little nudge if I've not inputted any clinical history. Our results are only as good as the information we receive, so please remember to input as much clinical history as you can when submitting cases to our labs. If, however, you don't have any clinical history, that's quite all right. You can simply proceed by hitting yes. Now that we've completed our submission, you'll be presented with your submission form. Here you can see all of the tests we've selected with their appropriate urgent codes, as well as the samples and all other animal information that we've input. Here, you'll just need to print the submission and then put that in your submission bag with the samples ready to be collected by a VPG courier. Now that we've completed our submission, you can see that it's appeared at the top of our submission page as pending, meaning that it's waiting to be collected and sent off to the laboratory. Once we receive it, you'll receive an updated receive time, and once it's completed or we've had partial results, you'll see an adjusted, completed or interim results time added to your submission. You can also use Pathport to adjust, edit or cancel submissions that you've created using Pathport. Simply head to the submission you'd like to edit. For example, I'll choose Jack and hit Edit Submission. From here, you can cycle back through the whole submission journey and make changes as you see fit. You can also do this to samples that have arrived at the lab. For example, if I chose to adjust one of these interim samples for Claire, you'll see that Edit Submission button changes to an Add Tests button. That's because you can use Pathport to add additional tests that may have been suggested by a pathologist in a report you've received, saving you the need to have to call the lab or email them and wait to hear back. Simply jump onto Pathport, add the tests that you'd like added, and walk away. Carry on with your day. Pathport also includes a really handy auto collection feature. This will notify your courier that you require a collection simply based on you having booked a submission through Pathport. If you're a practice that already receives a collection from a VPG courier, then speak to our team about setting up auto collections to take the stress out of submitting your samples. And that pretty much rounds up how to use Pathport. Thanks for joining me, and remember, if you have any further questions on how to use Pathport or how your practice can gain access to Pathport and begin using it straight away, then get in touch with either myself, Jack Sayer, or any other member of the Veterinary Pathology Group's partnership team. Thanks.